Iran throws its support behind Assad as rebels expand their shock offensive in Syria. Iran has thrown its support behind Syria's government after thousands of insurgents took control of the country's largest city of Aleppo and seized nearby towns and villages in a swift and surprise offensive. "We firmly support the Syrian army and government," Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi was quoted as saying by the state-run IRNA news agency before he set off for Syria's capital Damascus on Sunday. "The Syrian army will once again be victorious over these terrorist groups as in the past," he added. His comments came after the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a London-based war monitor, reported that insurgents led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham had taken control of Aleppo International Airport. The observatory said that fighters from the group posted pictures from the airport, which would be the first international airport to be controlled by insurgents. The rebels now control the majority of Aleppo after forcing the governor, police, and security branches to retreat from the city center, it added. At least 347 fatalities, including 40 civilians, have been killed during the clashes, according to the War Monitoring Group, which relies on a network of on-the-ground information sources. 5 children and 3 women were among the civilians killed by bombardment and airstrikes, it added. The fighting further exacerbates Syria's humanitarian crisis, already one of the world's worst after a 13-year civil war, which began in 2011 as a protest movement against Assad's authoritarian rule, but has since killed an estimated 500,000 people. The offensive raises questions about the preparedness of Syrian President Bashar Assad's armed forces. In his first public comments released by the state news agency Saturday evening, Assad said Syria will continue to defend its stability and territorial integrity against terrorists and their supporters. Syria is able to defeat them no matter how much their attacks intensify, he added. The observatory reported Sunday that his forces were sending large reinforcements and drawing a defensive line around several cities and villages in the Hama Governorate, which sits to the south of Aleppo. Iran's renewed commitment to Assad underscores the geopolitical stakes in the conflict and exposes a complex web of rivalries, factions, and foreign interventions that ensure Syrian turmoil persists. While Assad controls roughly 70% of Syrian territory, the remaining areas are held by a mix of opposition groups, Kurdish forces, and countries like the US and Turkey. Tehran sees Syria as a critical part of its regional strategy, providing a land corridor to Hezbollah in Lebanon and a front against Israeli influence. Iran's support for Assad mirrors that of Russia, which helped to turn the tide of the war during 2016's battle for Aleppo between Syrian government forces and rebel fighters. The victory helped Assad secure Assad's hold on strategic areas of Syria, with opposition factions and their foreign backers controlling areas on the periphery.